Hello. Today I am here with Dr. Jerard Terrell, past Teacher of the Year, International Educator, Vice Principal, and current Principal of New Jersey's first LEED Golden Public School, Summerfield Elementary School, located in Neptune, New Jersey. I just want to start off by saying it's a pleasure having you to do this interview with, and I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure doing this. Thank you for taking the time and considering me for this interview.
As you know, I attended Morgan State University, and I'm tasked with the assignment of interviewing an African American in the family consumer science field. Do you care to elaborate on your experience or connection with Morgan State University?
Well, as a proud graduate of Morgan State University, a class of 1997, the connection is just strong with being an alumni, participating in our annual events, and just promoting the success of our future generation of Morgan graduates.
You said you're an alumni, correct?
That is correct, yes.
What does it mean to be an alumni of Morgan State University?
Well, one is to walk very proudly as a graduate of a HBCU. And with that pride, it comes with the responsibility of making sure that you're doing everything that you can do to get that next generation as an educator, from elementary to secondary, and then with the goal of going to a historically black college, and that is to Morgan State University. It's moving to promote students and young minds to get to that secondary level so that they can move on and uplift and just support the next generation.
Are you familiar with or have prior knowledge of family consumer science?
Yes, I do have knowledge of family consumer science. It's very much connected wholeheartedly with education and our goals.
And what is your profession in the family and consumer science field?
Okay, so as an educator, family consumer science is tied in hand. When you think about family consumer science and also education, it is building relationships. It is also building on life skills and providing connections with the community, and also connections of supporting the wellness of the young minds and the impact upon building capacity.
And what does it mean to be an African American in your position and your profession right now?
As an African American leader, it is very pivotal that the next generation and students see leadership and see us in the roles that are promoting the success for our culture. It is important that students know that there is a goal that they can focus on by seeing a person of color in leadership. Again, like I mentioned before, it is to uplift. So with that, it is to make sure that our young African American girls and boys strive to their hardest. So in my role, it is to be the productive professional leader, supporting and making sure that they have everything they need and access to what they need so they can at one day replace us and move our group forward.
I just wanted to circle back to my previous question about your FACS profession. How have you contributed to the family consumer science field?
Well, I think the one main thing is that as an educator, I look at what contributions that we have to family consumer science, and that is with working with students and with teachers and lives, is that we want to make sure that they have access to the things that they need to make sure that they're academically sound. So as we are going through and finishing up with everything with COVID, social emotional learning is one of the key areas that we see deficits in, that we're trying to fulfill those needs. And as educators, we look to family consumer science resources to support that. So programs that have to deal with wellness, connections with our local hospitals and therapies, in looking at any kind of community building and capacity building programs, mentorship, as well as with any supports with materials. For prime example, with our special education if there are any particular devices that will help with the wellness and well-being to support their academic growth, we need the connection from FACs. We do need that.
And why do you believe family consumer science is important to your profession?
Well, just like in education, it is. We work hand in hand. So it's so important that we have the resources, the study of the social sciences, see the brain development, and making sure that we're able to educate the whole child. And without having family consumer science and those varied areas within the program, our students are not going to be successful.
Why do you believe family consumer science is important, not to just your profession and people in your profession, but all people?
Well, just like how you have in education, that we educate the next generation so that they can be the leaders of tomorrow in the varied fields. Family consumer science, it supports the same goal. Without having the focus in therapies and child development, we will not have that research that comes out to affect education, to affect law, to affect how we build and how we design. Without that program, we will not have the capacity building. And I think that if that's ever taken away, then our society will grind to a halt.
And why do you think family consumer science should be upkept at Morgan State University?
Well, like I mentioned, I think that it should definitely be upkept because we're looking at the science of learning. We're looking at the resources provided, the research that has to do with structures, materials, and supports. Without having that program in place, as an educator, I can't fulfill my role. And we need all the pieces within the whole society cog, or either the whole educational cog, to make sure that we're producing a well-prepared next generation of society.
I will once again like to thank you for this interview, and I appreciate you taking the time to do it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.